This is my third video on single rail divination, and this time we're going to look more in depth into each card that comes out of the pack. First of all, I'm going to ask the cards what the divination will be about by simply doing this, and we get the Jack of Hearts. That refers to me in general. I am the Jack of Hearts, so the cards are basically saying that they're not talking about anything specific as such. So we'll give the deck a shuffle and then proceed. Okay, first of all we have victory, then cruelty. So that would suggest a polarity between the positive force of victory and the negative concept of cruelty, but it should be polarized by the next card. And it is. It's polarized through prudence. So that would say that I have to be careful not to achieve too much. This probably refers to the lots of YouTube videos I've been making recently. The Nine of Spades probably means that I might regret making those videos in a few years, and the polarizing card is the or polarized card is the Eight of Diamonds or Discs. Prudence, science, swiftness, ruin. Now, this card can't really be placed on this stack or that stack. You could place it with the king. This is the first card which really makes it difficult for me to rise up from the aces to the kings. So the first really negative card is ruin, which represents the instability of air, or the instability of intellect on the material plane, which kind of represents this whole divination business in general. Defeat. Now, because we have the 5 and the 6 of spades together, that means that the magical side of what I'm doing is fine. Failure. Truce. Now here we have a wonderful trick, 4, 5, 6 trick. This represents the spheres of Hesed, Gevura and Tiferet on the tree. It basically means that the intellectual side of my life is absolutely fine. Strength. Interference. Success. Because we have the 6 of diamonds or discs with the 7, that might represent financial reward for the work that I'm doing if I get enough views on YouTube. And again we have 5, 6, 7, another trick, King of Spades. Now that means that both the King of Diamonds and the King of Spades don't want to stop me building up my houses. So these two kings represent powerful people that I may or may not know. It's basically saying that the powers that be are not trying to thwart my endeavours. Queen. Dominion. This is the first card we get, which basically means something has begun. The lightning flash has been initiated, and in a fiery sense, so this really means there's a lot of power. So I would assume the next card would be something to do with power or force. but it's not. It's the 3 of spades, or sorrow. Lovely trick there, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, reinforcing earlier when I said my intellectual faculties are doing well. Virtue. What I'm doing is good. That's what that card says. Everything is good. Again, this 10 can't really be placed on these 3 stacks. The 10 of wands or clubs is oppression. I've got no choice but to put this here, and it wouldn't surprise me if I'm stopped by the king of clubs. No, it's the 4 of clubs, completion, and there we go. See, stopped by the 10 of clubs, completely finished by the king of clubs. So we start the mystical ascent up the tree of life from the king of wands or the king of clubs. So we clear the stacks, empty that house. So far, out of that divination, all we got was wands. That could represent ambition, ferocity. It could also represent warfare and violence. It also, in another sense, represents spirituality in its highest form. So we'll start again. Gain. The king. This king here represents a person who doesn't want to stop me achieving something through rising through the houses. Queen, Jack. So straight where we have a few people that want me to succeed in life, want me to succeed in the magical aspect here. These 4 cards represent the magical aspect of the tree. These cards building up from the king represent the mystical aspect, but we'll get more into that in future videos. The 6 of diamonds, which is success. 5 of diamonds. To have the 6 and the 5 together, whenever we get in a 5 and a 6 together, we're talking about magic. This probably represents money in the future. The queen, I can't really put the queen on top of a jack, so we'll put her down there. The Queen of Swords might represent my psychiatrist, Dr. Simpson, but I'm not too sure. 8 of clubs, sorry, the 8 of hearts is indolence. The 7 of hearts is debauchery. These 2 cards together represent emotional stability. Valor. This probably means that I am going to continue making my videos and doing my writings and my artwork even in the face of adversity, and that there's a certain person, the Queen of Diamonds, who wants me to carry on doing my creative endeavours. The Jack, and we have love. Best way to start the game. Love, followed by abundance. Luxury. Disappointment. Dominion. Disappointment and dominion. that might mean that I end up tired of the kind of like creative parameters that I'm using in the future. Works. Disappointment and works. This might mean that eventually I might become jaded and disillusioned with my creativity. Completion. Complete disappointment or disappointment with something that's completed. I'm not too sure what that could mean. We have the Ten of Hearts, satiety. Peace. Satiety and peace. This might mean that eating lots, smoking lots, drinking lots of coffee may be good for my state of mind at the moment. The Five of Spades is defeat. Truce. These two cards are balanced on the tree because the Four of Spades is on Hesed, whereas the Five of Spades is on Gavura. That represents an intellectual polarity, okay, which should be reconciled by the next card. And it is. It's reconciled by the Three of... it's reconciled, and we fill up a house quite well. We also fill up this house and we empty a stack. Now we have a real chance of completing the game. But oddly enough, whereas the first hand we played before the King of Clubs was laid down only had clubs. So now we have a deficit of clubs, which could mean something that I'm not fully aware of. The King of Diamonds. He represents wealthy businessman. That probably represents my younger brother or my father. Another king. Now at this point, there is no king left that can start the mystical ascent on the bottom row. Only 3 queens have been laid down, so it may be the Queen of Clubs which ends the game. And it's the Queen of Clubs, but it does not end the game. The Ten of Clubs, oppression. Cruelty. Oppression and cruelty, obviously both very negative cards. Prudence. So we're getting very close to hopefully completing the game. Prudence and swiftness. Prudence and swiftness together would represent the idea that you should make haste and not speed. Or is it make speed and not haste? Not really. Those two cards represent the idea that I should be doing one thing at a time. The Seven of Diamonds, which is failure. It goes there. The Six of Spades is science. The science and failure. It might mean that my strictly intellectual approach to this game or my creativity is wanting. Pleasure. The Jack of Spades. Jack of Hearts. The Five of Clubs is strife. The Ten of Diamonds is wealth. strife and wealth, wealth and strife. I'm not too sure what that means. The 9 of clubs is happiness. I like the idea of wealth and happiness. Futility. Now at this point, it could be a 10 that stops me. If I put out a 10, now it's 2, Dominion, and we need the 3 obviously. Yeah, we have the 3, Dominion and virtue and completion. Now this card's come up. Now we might be able to do something a bit naughty and place the 10 of spades, which is the card of ruin, on here. Now the thing is though, to empty the 9, we need the 9 there. At this point I'm really guessing about the arithmetical side of it, but we put out a 9. Now the 9 can obviously not go on top of the 8 of clubs. It can't go there, so we're stopped by the 9. And this is the Lord of Strength. It's not a bad card to be stopped. From a mystical perspective, the King of Wands doesn't want me achieving too much in the world. We have in the middle in the houses completion, pleasure, futility and failure. So that might mean complete futility in what I'm doing. In other words, I may not get that many hits on YouTube or have many people buy my books and artwork. Complete failure, completion, failure, complete failure, or maybe a completion, maybe a failure to complete something, which is very much likely. But then again, we have complete pleasure, or the pleasure of completion. But this is the main card that we have, and it is the 9 of Wands, or Strength, the Lord of Strength, which I believe is lunar in Sagittarius. And it seems to be a satisfying end to this rather long-winded divination. Thank you.